I'm about to ruin your favorite anime right now. Running in a crowd in this Brisbane town, I need to feel the touch of a blonde. I wanna get inside and spread their legs real wide and get 'em wet as fuck like a pond. I don't know where to bust when I feel like coming. Oh my, it's time to open your legs and let me in you. I wanna pop your hymen again. Then suddenly, my cock and balls start swelling up, magically erupt. And it's all because the tightness that I feel from bimbos I don't even know. Then suddenly, my erect penis will begin to grow. And then I blow. That most of all, I sense my balls emptying thanks to strangers I really don't know. Thank you for making me come.
That was great, dude. The one question I have for you though, how can you pop a Heinemann again? That's my question for you.
Well, how about this? A little bit of clay and a lot of patience makes a.
Because when you said that, I'm going, wait a minute. You can't do that with the same person more than once.
No, you
Good,
can't.
good song, man. Good song, but you didn't ruin it for me. But I mean, that was fucking hilarious.
I
That was
didn't
hilarious.
ruin the best anime ever. I made it better. So,
Wait a minute. The best anime ever? Is
well,
it better
that's
than?
what a lot of people think, that Yu Yu Hakusho is the best anime ever.
I mean,
Really?
I love Dragon Ball, but I love Yu Yu Hakusho as well. I love them. I love Dragon Ball a little bit more because I got into it nearly 20 years ago now. But I still love Yu Yu Hakusho with a passion. Love it.
Speaking of Dragon Ball, this is Talk Dragon Ball. It's D and Jay is here as well, and we're gonna be having a discussion about Dragon Ball. Welcome to Dragon Ball Z discussion. Except this one's gonna make sense. I would hope so. But I want to talk, right now in the Dragon Ball universe, we're right in the middle of the Universe 6 tournament, the God of Destruction Champa arc, which is basically a tournament to determine the future of the Earth, whether or not it's going to go to Universe 6 or stay in Universe 7. So, I want to talk about the history of the Tenkaichi Budokai, the history of the World Martial Arts Tournament. I don't want to really go in depth because I will do a video about the history of the tournaments later on, but I do want to talk about kind of our favorite moments as fans and the importance of the tournaments in Dragon Ball and what we love and miss about them, even though we don't really miss anything because they're back now, but they weren't there for a while. So joining us on this video, a man who actually gave me the idea for this video, this topic, and go check out his channel. I will put the link down in the description. You might enjoy a lot of that content that he's got over there. Very studious Dragon Ball fan. Actually does his homework, unlike the majority of this community. Please welcome SonGoku World, but we're just going to call him Josh.
Hello, thank you for having me.
And
All right.
we also we have two Joshes now. We've got the hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. We got this guy as well. So we've got two Joshes now.
And if you count Kendamu Z, that's three.
That's three Joshes. Yeah, I'm sorry, Josh. I didn't forget you either. The other Josh.
3 Joshes, 2 J's, freaking. And here's where it gets good. We have Danny, which is me. We have Dino, which is Rhyme Style. Then we have
Dino.
And then we have Donnie, which is D free.
Well, Jay. I'm the real Jay because the other one is not really Jay. If you get what I'm saying.
No, but he hates his real name though.
I don't care. My name is Jay. I'm the Jay. All right. That's what
We've got one Tyler.
No, his name's Theodore, man. His name's Theodore.
Well, I do like what I said on Twitter a few days ago, that his new name now is ZZ Ghosty because he never uploads.
All right, let's get into it.
Josh, let's talk about Dragon Ball. So, the history of the tournaments, all right? So, we're in the middle of a tournament right now. Let's talk about the different tournaments that there have been in Dragon Ball. There was, of course, the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, which is the first tournament ever that we saw in Dragon Ball, but it's the 21st one. Back then, the rules were they happened every 5 years, I believe, to determine who is the strongest martial artist in the world. And, of course, that literally translates to the greatest under the heavens tournament or martial arts.
Is it strongest under the heavens? I thought it was strongest under the heavens.
Yeah, you're right. The strongest under the heavens tournament. But I think actually Budokai is like, if you break it down even more, I think it translates to like martial arts competition or something like that. There's more of a breakdown there, but it's the World Martial Arts Tournament essentially. And then, of course, there was the 22nd Budokai. But before that, we had a little mini tournament with the Uranai Baba saga that had like a little mini tournament. And then, of course, we have the 23rd Budokai, which is the end of Dragon Ball. And then when we go to Dragon Ball Z, we don't really see many tournaments until we get to the Cell game. And, of course, the 25th Budokai, which is the one that happened in the beginning of the Buu arc, which there was a 24th Budokai, but we never saw it. And it's the one that Mr. Satan won. And then, of course, there's the 27th and 28th Tenkaichi Budokais. Well, I'm sorry, 26th and 27th, which we also never saw, but we heard about them in the guidebooks. They're the ones that Mr. Satan had won thanks to Mr. Buu helping him. And then, of course, we have the 28th Budokai, which is the end of Dragon Ball Z, when we see Goku and everybody show up at the tournament to go meet Oob. And, of course, Wackiness and Su.
Wait a minute, man. You mean Ubu, don't you?
Ubu.
Ah!
Chikyu
Don't mind me.
Wakse.
Just maybe in a weeb.
Let's go full weeb, bro. Let's not call it the Cell games. Seru game.
Sounds good.
Tenkaichi Budokai.
All right. Well, we're gonna be saying Namu as well then. Namu.
Namu, yep, Namu, and Gidan. Well, Gidan's correct. So Kuririn-san. No, but Josh, bro, your fondest memories of the tournaments.
All right. Well, starting off the 21st, my favorite part was.
Speak a little louder, please. A little bit louder.
My favorite part for the 21st tournament is with Jackie Chun and Namu. I liked his story, Nam's story, and
you mean like with the dried up lake or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an emotional scene, and it was cool to see Master Roshi or Kame Sennin or Jackie Chun do something nice. It was an emotional scene, and it's probably my favorite part of the arc.
Okay, that's fair, Jay.
21st for me. Probably Ranfan versus Namu. Love that shit, man. Love
awesome.
that shit. I love her taste stripping down to her bra and panties. First time I saw that. Let me get one thing straight before I say this, all right? I don't jack off to anime characters, but
no,
yes.
The other Jay does that.
Yeah. But when Ranfan stripped down to her panties, man, yeah, I enjoyed that shit. That was good viewing. I like it. And good tits, good ass. And I love the way Namu had to win that fight. I loved, and Denny, you know I struggle saying this in Japanese, so don't ostracize me for it. I liked Krillin versus Bacterian. I can't say Kuririn, man. I can't fucking say.
Just say Kuririn.
Kuririn. See, I can't say it. Can't say it. You can make fun of me for that all you want. I struggle to say that, but I liked Krillin versus Bacterian.
I love Krillin Bacterian, yo.
Yeah.
Why
that
are
was
you worried about a stench? You don't have a nose. What?
Exactly. And probably the climax to that fight, obviously, Jackie Chun, Kami Sennin versus Goku in the final. That was a fantastic fight. And really, when I watched that for the first time, because I watched the anime before I read the manga, yeah. I had no idea who was going to win that fight. I suspected Jackie Chun would, because obviously, even watching it the first time, spoilers if you've been living under a fucking rock, Jackie Chun is Muten Roshi. I knew that was Muten Roshi, so I had a feeling that Goku wouldn't have surpassed Muten Roshi yet. But yeah, I still didn't know who was going to win that fight the first time I watched it. So that was a great fight for me because of the unknown factor of who was going to be the champion of that tournament.
Now, in your opinion, I feel like Goku and Jackie Chun was kind of the first fight in Dragon Ball where we really started seeing kind of what Dragon Ball would become. Multiple episode fight, lots of twists and turns. You know, one guy does one thing, the other guy does another. We're seeing techniques and things like that. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, yep. I think that was a glimpse. And obviously by the time the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai rolls around, it's very much like Dragon Ball Z. So, yeah, it's definitely the start of the transformation into like Dragon Ball's transitioning into a similar show to Dragon Ball Z. But then again, you had the Red Ribbon arc, which was very different from the stuff that comes like after that. Like, you know, obviously the Red Ribbon arc is completely different from the Piccolo
totally
Daimao arc. So
yeah.
It's still going through that transitional phase, but it is a glimpse into the future of Dragon Ball. Absolutely.
And I will say this to add to what you're saying too. The Goku Jackie Chun fight is fantastic because so many, like the fact that Goku goes Uzaru and Chun becomes the hero, like Roshi becomes the hero there and destroys the moon. And then of course they have the big finale, and rather than Roshi win by just strength alone, he won via strategy. I thought it was a fantastic fight. I feel like it's very underrated. And one thing I will say for those of you who don't know or haven't seen it, you have to watch it in Japanese for a couple reasons. Number one, there is a amazing montage to Mezaze Tenkaichi, which is the Japanese song.
The insert, yeah, I was just gonna say the insert songs, man.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm saying. The montage, yeah, the insert song during the fight with Goku and Jackie Chun. That's incredible, and it comes back in future tournaments as well. But this is when you first hear it, like, you know, the whole verse. Amazing, and also I believe that Jackie Chun's like drunken technique, the drunken monkey or whatever, was edited from the English dub. And for those who don't know, Toriyama took a lot of influence from Drunken Master from Jackie Chan. So that first tournament, most of it is very, very reminiscent of Drunken Master and other Jackie Chan movies.
Toriyama was a massive fan of Jackie Chan. That's why he's got the obviously you've got the photo of him with Jackie Chan, and he obviously named Jackie Chun after Jackie Chan. So big influence there. Big influence.
Absolutely. No, and that first tournament shows it. Josh, you told us before we started recording this is your favorite tournament.
No,
or is it
23rd
not?
is.
23rd is. Okay, so we'll get 23rd. There. I'm sorry, I thought you said 21st. Okay, let's move forward then. The Uranai Baba tournament, which is not really a Budokai, but I think we should talk about it a little bit here. Of course, at the end of Red Ribbon Army, Goku's looking for that last Dragon Ball, and we find out that Roshi's sister, Uranai Baba, which is Fortune Teller Baba, we find out that she knows that location of the last Dragon Ball, and so Goku shows up, but they have to do a tournament 5-on-5. Well, really, it's kind of technically 6-on-5, but you know what I mean. And I love it. It's a perfect mix of comedy and action. I love the Devil's Toilet. I love that we see characters that we never saw again, which I wish would have come back, like Akuman, which is Devilman.
Spike, yeah, man, he was, as in the English dub, they called him Spike the Devilman. I think he is a great character, man.
Yeah, Mummy Man.
Probably my favorite character from that. And the Invisible Man, let's not forget the Invisible Man.
The Vampire.
Yeah.
Everybody was awesome. Your memories, Josh, anything you particularly like about this tournament?
Well, as you said earlier, Spike the Devilman, or Akuman, he's one of my favorite characters because of the Devil Might Beam.
Yeah, because he could, let's be real, if he hits fucking Champa with that shit, he'll kill him.
Right.
Or whatever, bro. He could hit freaking Yi Shen Long, Omega Shenron with that fucker, and he wins Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
And the more cockier the character, the better chance he has of actually landing it.
Yeah, the more evil in their heart or whatever.
Yeah.
So what else? What else do you like about it?
Goku versus Grandpa Gohan.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
Yeah, I was going to just bring that up here. I just want to say that Goku being reunited with his grandfather is easily one of the top most emotional moments of the series. Maybe the most emotional. You see Goku bust out in tears. I've watched this with people, grown folk, who have cried over this scene. I'm not even kidding. It is an incredible scene. It's animated incredible. When he reveals his face, when Goku just busts out in the tears, it's the only time we really, really, really see Goku break down like that over somebody else. We almost never see that. I think it might be the best moment in the entire series in some ways, you know?
Yeah.
Jay.
Definitely emotional.
Incredible. Just incredible. Jay.
Yeah, I've said on numerous occasions, and you can vouch for me on this, Danny, that, Goku, having to reveal to him that his grandfather has come back for like his 1 day pass, like that scene there is extremely touching. And obviously what follows, Goku going to wish back Upa's father, Bora, that was extremely touching as well. So there's a lot of emotional scenes in that arc, and probably the most emotional arc in Dragon Ball, without a shadow of a doubt. I can pick on some other ones later in the Piccolo Daimao arc as well, obviously, but that was very, very emotional. And I love the fight, especially in the manga, because I'm a perv. The fight with Yamcha, or Yamucha, and the Invisible Man, and Krillin pulls down Bulma's top, and you see Bulma's tits. Yes. Love that. I'm sorry, I had to bring that up.
Oh,
I love it. And it's one of my favorite
great
scenes
moments. How many
Well,
great
that is-
moments? How many great moments are in that tournament, bro? Like, there's so many of them, right? What about when Upa does the Jesus Christ thing to freak out the vampire, bro? Just there's so
Yeah.
many great people. That's why I legitimately want to throw things at people who have the balls say I've never seen Dragon Ball, I never have time for it. Like, fuck you. Like, I've only seen Z. Fuck you. It angers me. I'm sorry, it angers me.
Yeah.
You're missing
I
too
would,
much of the story.
Yeah.
not to get too off topic, but I wish Toei would take some form of the Masters and do a Blu-ray release for Dragon Ball, because I would love a Blu-ray release for Dragon Ball. I don't just want to have like Dragon Ball, Dragon Box quality. I've got pretty close to that. I want fucking Blu-ray Masters, man. That'd be fucking cool.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dragon Box are good enough. Let's move on. 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. I love it. This is when we see the introduction of Ten Shinhan, Chaozu, and the Crane Master, who was called Master Shen in the dub, which was a huge fuck up because there's a character named Shen in the 23rd Budokai, so they had to change his name because they're fucking dumb and didn't do any fucking homework. Sorry, but they're stupid. And anyways, they were introduced in the anime a few episodes early. But in the manga, this is their introduction. And the whole thing with this tournament was the rival schools. You know, the Crane School versus the Turtle School. The Suru Senin versus the Kame Senin. Roshi, of course, would go in there as Jackie Chun, representing himself, the defending champion. We had Kuririn, we had Yamucha, we had SonGoku on one side, we had Tenshinhan Chaozu on the other. And the idea was that Tenshinhan and Chaozu are supposed to be like Goku and Krillin, like that same kind of idea. Great stuff. I love Man Wolf. Huge fan of the Man Wolf thing. You know, you blew up the moon and now I'm stuck like this. And then he was uglier as a human. Like, just love that stuff. The entire buildup of Ten Shinhan wanting to be like Tao Pai Pai, cracking Yamcha's knee, and that was amazing. The Goku versus Kuririn fight is incredible. Incredible. Ten Shinhan versus Jackie Chun when he busts out the fucking Kamehameha. Oh, wait a minute. Tien can do the Kamehameha? Yeah, fucker, watch Dragon Ball. And then the big finale at the end. When we talk about this, this reminds me again of like why I love Dragon Ball so much. Dragon Ball is better than Z in many ways, and this is one of them. The big fight at the end. Ten Shinhan fires the fucking Kikoho, knowing that it could kill him, puts a huge crater in the ring. They're up in the sky. They both crash at the same time, but Goku hits a car. Ten Shinhan wins, and then the entire crowd runs out and lifts them up on their shoulders, and they are both just such an emotional... I got emotional. I am not going to lie. When they lifted them on their shoulders, there were tears in my eyes. I'm not lying about this.
Yeah.
Josh, go ahead.
All right. Well, Chaozu versus Kuririn.
You don't have to really say it like that, bro. We're fucking around.
It's fun.
Okay,
But,
it is fun. It is fun.
Yeah, that was definitely the funniest.
Because of the
fight.
math thing?
Yeah. Chaozu doesn't know math.
Or how Chaozu has those telekinetic powers so he can fuck with the balls and shit, like the the order and shit. That was pretty cool. And then of course we see King Choppa.
Oh, dude, don't mention that. I've got stuff to say about that. Oh, man.
Okay, Josh, what else do you got?
Jackie Chun versus Ten Shinhan. I liked how Jackie Chun just loses for the purpose of trying to get Tien to leave Master Shen.
I love it. Like the whole story arc of Ten Shinhan, how he's like, listen, you're this great fighter. Why are you wasting your time with this guy? Why are you sitting there wanting to be an assassin? You can be a great hero, a great fighter. And they have that conversation outside of the tournament. And then, of course, Shen wants Master Shen, as they call him in the dub, but Crane Master Suru Senin, he wants Ten Shinhan to kill I think it's who was it? Was it Goku? Yeah, and then Roshi, and then Ten Shinhan's like fuck you, and then Roshi Kamehamehas him out of the fucking stadium, bro. Just god damn, bro. What else you got before we go to Jay?
That's it. It's like my least favorite. Those are my two favorite parts. That's kind of it.
Really, I love it, but okay, Jay, what do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Love Goku versus King Chopper in the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai because they give King Chopper a lot of build up.
They built him up so great.
Yeah, they say he'd never be like he won an entire tournament without being touched. So straight away you're like, oh, this guy's gonna be good. He's got the fucking 8 arm technique thing which I'm trying to think like that came out before even Mortal Kombat. So I'm pretty sure like Goro could have drawn inspiration from King Chopper. Maybe they drew inspiration for something else for King Chopper, but King Chopper's like 8 arm technique. That reminded me a lot of Goro because I had seen Mortal Kombat before I watched Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I loved that. I love their fight, and I love the way Goku manages to win that fight. I won't. We'll touch on what happens later. Obviously, he comes back in the 23rd Tenkaichi
Which I thought
Budokai.
was awesome.
Yeah, I love Ten Shin Han versus Yamcha, and I did not see it coming when Ten Shin Han broke Yamcha's leg. I did not see that coming at all. That blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, man, this guy's fucking brutal. And from that point onwards, I hated, like, not obviously now, but from that point onwards for the duration, probably up until the Piccolo Daimao arc, I hated Ten Shinhan. I fucking hated him because I thought he was a dick for doing that to Yamcha. So when Goku was up against him in the final, man, that was again the exact same thing that happened for me. And it's very, I was surprised that they could emulate this because in the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, I just thought Goku was going to fly through and win it. I just thought that's the way it was going to go. For them to emulate the 21st final, where I have a final here, I got to it, Goku versus Ten Shinhan, and I didn't know who was going to win it. I had no idea. And then the way they ended it, like you mentioned earlier, where they both just go all out and they're pretty much perfectly even, but Goku hits the ground first, so Ten Shinhan wins. Great fight. Great fight.
And don't forget, you mentioned Mortal Kombat. Don't forget Pampoot, a.k.a. Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
You know, there's another reference.
Yeah. They were the highlights for me, but they were the big moments for me. So Chopper versus Goku in the preliminaries. Yamcha versus Ten Shinhan, and obviously the final Ten Shinhan versus Son Goku. Man, they were my highlights of the 22nd tournament. And
fucking weeb.
I don't mind Chiaotzu, but Chiaotzu for me really doesn't do a whole lot. I like the introduction of Chiaotzu's like abilities as a character.
Yeah.
Like he obviously tries to use those later in Dragon Ball Z, and they have no effect on characters like Nappa. So it's like he gets fucked. He's a wasted character. He does nothing in Dragon Ball Z. But I like that Chiaotzu was somewhat relevant in the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. But he obviously still needed assistance from Ten Shinhan. He was quite a useless character, really.
Yep. All right. 23rd Budokai, age 756, May 7th. Without a doubt, my favorite tournament, as well as maybe even the best arc in the entire series. I mean, really, everything prior to this tournament was building up to this tournament. Everything. We saw the return of several surprising characters. Piccolo would debut as Ma Jr., or I think in the dub it was just Junior, which translates to Demon Jr. We saw an anonymous female who we didn't know who it was from way, way back. We saw the return of Tao Pai Pai as a cyborg. Yajirobe dressed like a luchador, which was awesome. Like you said, Jay, King Chopper returns. And what a fucking tournament, bro. Every fight, Krillin versus Piccolo. The shocker that was Shen, otherwise known as, what do they call him? Hero in the dub, right? Was it Hero?
They called him Hero, yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, whatever. It's Kami. It's God against Piccolo, trying the demon containment wave, the Mafuba, and it didn't work. He reversed it on him. He swallows the jar. Piccolo Krillin was great. Yamcha jobs early, of course, like he always does. Ten Shinhan Goku, the rematch from the finals. Goku takes his fucking turban and he's naked and shit. The entire Ten Shinhan Tao Pai Pai story arc, that was the close of the Ten Shinhan story arc. The fact that he wanted to be an assassin when we first met him in the 22nd Budokai. In the 23rd, when he was already over it, but he runs into his mentor. And the guy cheats using a weapon, and Ten Shinhan just lights him up. What a satisfying fucking tournament, yo. And I haven't even talked about Goku versus Piccolo, the best fight in the goddamn series. Josh, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I completely agree. That's my favorite fight. Goku versus Piccolo.
Yeah.
I liked, the funny part was with Goku doing a Kamehameha wave with his feet. I thought that was pretty funny.
Kamehameha. It's a Kamehameha, bro. We're going weeb on this video. Weeb.
All right. It is Kamehameha.
All right, bro. Just keep going.
It seemed like Goku was gonna lose. Like, I mean, he had one arm broken, both legs, but eventually when he makes it and defeats Piccolo Jr., it was just a satisfying fight. It was definitely my favorite in the arc. It made the arc for me, and
It made the whole series for me, right?
Yeah.
Jay.
I have multiple, obviously. Again, I forgot to mention in the last arc too, but a couple of fights, but that's okay. This particular arc, the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, the Piccolo Daimao arc, I wish we could talk about that, but obviously
That'd be a different
tournament. Yeah, this tournament was fucking awesome. I loved Kami coming down and possessing a human body. Because he's just this fucking nerdy guy with glasses, and yet he's like near unstoppable.
He fucking owned Yamcha's ass.
Kami's not weak. Like, Kami is not weak. He's fucking God. He trained Goku. Like, he is fucking not weak. And yeah, Yamcha versus Kami, man. I'm just gonna call him Kami. That was awesome. I love that because you kind of expected, like, Yamcha's the guy who has jobs. We know that, but you kind of expected. He's had plenty of years of training under his belt. You expected him to win this fight, and he still loses. I like that.
And I didn't even mention. I'm sorry, I didn't even mention Chi-Chi. The every loose end in the series is tied here. Tenshin Han gets his arc finished. Chi-Chi and Goku have their little thing where they get engaged officially. Everybody has their arc. Like, what a perfect. And then the finale. How everybody's watching this fight for the universe, and it's just one thing after another after another. Toriyama's magnum opus, in my opinion, was this tournament. I'm sorry, Jay, continue.
King Chopper coming back and getting one-shotted by Goku. Well, not one-shotted, but you know what I mean. He does the quick punches, quick parry-like punches to the chest.
Yeah.
Loved that. Great fucking... It was the chest or the stomach. I'm having trouble remembering, but that was great. He's out. Krillin versus Piccolo. Fucking, that was amazing. I loved that. I knew Krillin wasn't going to win that fight. I knew it because Piccolo had been built up. He had been built up a lot, but Krillin, in my opinion, did very well in that fight, and I enjoyed that fight a lot. And the finale was probably the next highlight. I did like seeing Chi-Chi and Goku spar. That was good. But the next highlight is the Piccolo versus Goku. So many great highlights and moments in that fight. Piccolo revealing that he can turn into a fucking giant. Like, I remember the first time I saw that, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I had already seen Dragon Ball Z all in its duration, and before I saw Dragon Ball, but I hadn't seen the Lord Slug movie, so I had no idea about this. I had no idea that Namekians could do this. So I was like, holy shit.
Well, we didn't even know they were Namekians at that time.
Yeah. We got to remember I saw Dragon Ball Z first.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
I see what you mean.
Yeah, so I had no idea Piccolo had this ability. First time I saw that, my mind was blown. And Goku having to save Kami during that fight as well. That was a great aspect or a great element to this fight. Obviously, Kami was trapped inside the Mafu bar. So that was another good element to the fight I liked. And just the climax of the fight. You think Piccolo has Goku beat. You think Piccolo's got the fight won, but Goku comes down. It just falls from the sky, kind of falls from the heavens, and just takes Piccolo out with a fucking, like, shoulder charge to the fucking sternum. Yeah, headbutt. Headbutt. It looks like a headbutt / shoulder charge to the sternum. Takes Piccolo out. The only thing I have for that fight that I go back and watch now and pick on is, like, every time I see Piccolo's blood come out and it's red, I'm like, but it's purple now. But obviously they changed that later. But
red is so violent, so much more violent.
Yeah. Oh man, that fight was brutal. The amount of blood Goku had coming from his body during that fight. Like, Piccolo was fucking putting holes in that guy. Yeah, that was a brutal fight. I enjoyed that fight thoroughly. Pretty satisfying conclusion. And it would pretty much give the trend for a lot of the rest of the series. Obviously, Goku is the main character, never gives up, and always tries to find a way to win. And he found a way to win in that fight. Just. They were very close.
Wait a minute. You just say never gives up? But I thought Goku threw the fight a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're a fucking idiot, and I will call you that in the comment section, go on sub if you're offended. If you thought
No, do not unsub from me. No. Unsub from him. No, unsub from him, not from me. Don't sabotage my channel, Jay.
Not your channel. If you thought Goku threw the fight a few weeks ago, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about, and you're an idiot. I'm sorry.
The views expressed on this channel by Jay and Josh, do not reflect those of Geekdom 101 or any of his.
I don't sub from your channel. I mean, like, if you're gonna fucking like, dude, I not to get off topic, but I had people.
I know they were calling you names and shit. I know. I agree with you. It wasn't right. It wasn't
straight up offending me when they like fucking go do your research. Like, so yeah, Goku doesn't throw fights. Goku's never thrown a fight. The only time he ever gave up was against Cell, but that's because he had a fucking ace. He had a fucking.
And he knew he wasn't gonna win.
Yeah, exactly. He knew. Well, yeah, Cell had way too much latitude on Goku. So exactly.
All right, 24th Budokai. We don't know much about this. All we know is that Mr. Satan competed. We know that Sapopovich competed. We know Mr. Satan won the adult division. We know that Videl won the junior division. It was the first time he did it.
No, Denny, man.
Bideru. No, Bideru, bro. All right. We know that Pintar, Jewel, and Killa all competed, and that Mr. Satan won and Jewel was the runner-up. That's all we know. That is all that we know about this tournament. I want to ask you guys, do you think that they should have shown this tournament more of it? Do you still want to see it, or do you not really care?
I'll let Josh go first. Yeah, well, okay. Well, I'll just say, I think it's not relevant to the storytelling of the series, but I did like the filler sequence that you see where they cut back to Mr. Satan fighting Spopovich in obviously that tournament, and he's just toying with Spopovich. I like that flashback. That was a good flashback.
Yeah, it actually showed that this guy's pretty tough. Now, 25th Budokai, the beginning of the Buu arc, age 774, May 7th. Junior divisions there, of course, headlined by Goten versus Trunks in a very, very fun fight where Trunks wins and Vegeta gloats about it. I loved it. Then, of course, the main tournament doesn't really happen the way that it's supposed to because Kaioshin interrupts and ruins everything pretty much. Everybody runs off, so we're left with this wacky little battle royale at the end with 18, Mr. Satan, Mighty Mask, who was actually Goten and Trunks in disguise. I kind of do wish we would have seen more of these fights. Of course, there's the Videl-Sapopovich fight, which was very brutal. Gohan versus Kibito, which went nowhere except it was a backdrop for a storyline. I mean, this whole tournament was pretty much just a backdrop for a storyline. Wasn't really a complete tournament, but I did like it. So, Josh, your thoughts and memories on the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai?
Well, it was cool to see finally back in Dragon Ball Z how they're bringing the Tenkaichi Budokais back. So while it wasn't a complete tournament, it was still a cool part to see.
Jay?
I enjoyed it. Obviously, short-lived. The junior division was better than the senior division for me because you actually got to see the entire thing. And Trunks, Trunks beating Goten. Not gonna lie, obviously I'm Team Vegeta, so it was good to see Vegeta's blood beat Goku's blood. And don't say Trunks cheated. Don't say Trunks cheated because fucking Goten cheated first, you fucks. So after that, probably the highlight of the fights we do see for me, because it was somewhat emotional because the character had some minor build-up during the Great Saiyaman arc, was Videl's beatdown against Spopovich. That was kind of hard to watch at times.
Yeah.
And Gohan getting emotional about it was good too. I enjoyed watching Gohan get emotional about it. And we don't really see any other fights. You see Piccolo versus the Kaioshin.
Yeah, he just gives up.
And a lot of people have a bit of trouble understanding when he says our dimensions are too different in the Japanese dub. I can confirm for you that is a strength reference. There's multiple times in the Buu arc where that is used, and it is always used as a strength reference. So Piccolo had no chance of winning that fight. That's what he means by that. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's
Supreme
a god and he's a higher god. He is, but look at how Supreme Kai did against fucking Majin Buu. He did better than Gohan did, which is fine. I'm not saying he's stronger than Gohan, but he did better than Gohan. He lasted longer than Gohan.
Gohan's also a pussy, bro.
Gohan is a pussy by that stage, but multiple times Vegeta versus Buu. Buu says that our dimensions are too different, so it is a strength reference. Piccolo gives up. That was a pretty cool moment. Unless you're a QAAMAN's land, and Piccolo's your favorite character.
Well, tough shit. If
I mean, for all we know, Kaioshin could have been holding chopsticks in his undercoat somewhere, so you just don't know. On top of that, I did enjoy seeing Yamu and Spopovich jump in and drain Gohan's energy because that was what led to the Majin Buu arc, obviously. So that's where I got hooked on the Majin Buu arc. The Great Saiyaman arc was fun, but when the action kicked up, and Gohan transforming into a Super Saiyan 2, that was
amazing
spectacular.
Scene.
That was great.
With
the tiles...
With the Kikuchi score, though.
And I will say, I don't really like too many Faulkner tracks, but I do like the Ginyu transformation theme, and they use that well there.
That's right, they did. That's right.
I like the tiles lifting up and falling down into place. I love the reaction of the people who know Gohan in high school.
He's the Golden Warrior.
Well, yeah, like they say he's the great Saiyaman and the Golden Warrior, and Videl seeing it. It's just like there's something about side characters. For me, watching that arc, I wanted those side characters to know who Gohan really was. Now, I know Gohan didn't want those characters to know who he really was because it was just going to cause problems and he'd have to explain it to them. But I wanted Gohan to reveal who he was. So it was really satisfying for me when Videl finally saw, or Bidel saw...
Bideru.
Well, when Mr. Satan says it, I swear he says Bidel.
It's Bideru, I assure you.
But, well... I really found it satisfying when she saw Gohan transform into a Super Saiyan for Super Saiyan 2 because she knew the truth. She knew that he was the great Saiyaman.
And she got really wet. Let's be real.
Really wet. Yeah, she peeled the Band-Aid off and then she knew. But she also knew that from this point onwards. Yeah, she also knew from this point onwards that he was the Gold Fighter as well. So that was a lot of build up for me to that point. You knew that Gohan's identity was going to get revealed sooner or later. And the other highlight for that tournament that I liked was Eraser trying to figure out, was it the guy was Sharpner, wasn't it? I'm trying to think of the fucking...
When the cameras were breaking and shit, is that what you're talking
about?
Yeah,
but I'm trying to remember which one's the brother and which one's the sister. Which one was the sister? I think that was Eraser.
Sharpner was the guy. Eraser was
the guy, yeah.
Yeah, and then what about Vegeta punched the machine, bro?
Yeah, oh, dude, great. But I love Sharpner going around...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Sharpner trying to figure out Gohan's true identity, Great Saiyaman's true identity. Piccolo breaks all the cameras. The kid pulling Gohan's sunglasses off. That whole stuff was fun. That was fun, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and don't forget the moment where Goku returns and everybody sees him. That's a great moment.
Yeah, Goten embracing Goku for the first time was really touching. Yeah, very very touching. And I know Megan loves that scene. That makes her all teary as well.
I love that scene too. Now, 26th, 27th Budokais again. Majin Buu won. I think Mr. Buu was the semifinalist. Of course, lost on purpose. According to my data, Wild Tiger was the semifinalist in the 27th Budokai. And then, of course, in the 28th one, the same thing, Mr. Buu and Satan. And then there's, of course, the tournament in GT, which I thought was way too short. Kind of a bummer. And then, of course, the Goku Jr. Vegeta Jr. tournament. Is there anything you guys want to add about those? I don't think we saw enough. Like, Kid Goku fights in the kids division, and I was like, Goku lost because Goku was getting tickled, and I wanted to see more of it. It was kind of a fuck job.
Yeah, I mean, was it the 29th Tenkaichi Budokai, the last one of Z, I'm pretty sure?
The 28th was the last one of Z.
28th, my apologies there. That one, I mean, I enjoyed seeing Pan, Vegeta knocking out the guy who was
Captain Chicken.
Captain Chicken, yeah, the fucking the guy who was clearly inspired from the fucking village people hitting on Trunks. And Killer from, actually I forgot to speak about Killer in the last one. Killer from fucking, because it was Killer, I'm trying to remember. I swear Killer was in both.
Killer was in the 20 no, Killer was not in this one. Wild Tiger is the guy who was hitting on Trunks. Killa was in the previous one, the one with the Buu saga.
Wild Tiger is the one that Pan fought.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I thought Wild Tiger was the village people.
Wild Tiger is the one that Pan slapped out of the arena. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Killer in the English dub, which was him talking in the English dub. That's exactly what he said.
Racist.
Could you be more racist if you tried?
Racist as fuck. So I like see that those are things that make me laugh about the dub, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
All right, well we're done. Let us know down below your favorite memories of the Tenkaichi Budokai tournaments in Dragon Ball, and we're in the middle of one right now, so I'm sure we'll probably compare it to these, when it's over. Check out Super JAYAIN and SonGoku World. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
This tournament that we're currently in right now is starting to blow my mind. We are as of this podcast being recorded, we are up to Vegeta versus Hitto.
Hitto.
Yep. I'm definitely excited, and I expect Hitto to absolutely destroy Vegeta.
We'll see what happens, Josh.
Yeah. Before we go, from the 25th World Tournament, Mighty Mask versus 18. Is Mighty Mask stronger than 18, or was she just surprised?
I'm not
I
doing
think
that fucking video.
no, that's a topic for another day. That's a topic for another
Fuck
day.
you. I'm not doing that video. Check out Jay and Josh, and we'll catch you down the road.